The main thing is New Orleans is home. It's where I've been born and raised.
My father and grandfather always told me that it takes a lot to build a good reputation, but it doesn't take a lot to lose it.
I can sell good work. I can't give bad work away.
It's such a small world down here in New Orleans that everybody knows everybody.
We've been in the city for over 173 years, and when you ask people, who would you call for a home repair? And the first thought is Abry Brothers. That's exciting. A lot of times I'll ask people on the phone, how did you hear about us? And there's a long pause, and they'll say, I'm a local. Who else would I call?
Being the sixth generation in this family business, I really feel like I'm a steward.
You know that your ancestors, your father and your grandfather and your great-grandfather did a good job of managing the business. They became well-known.
There's so many more people before me who've actually created this legacy to where we are today, to be here 175 years. It's bigger than just Greg operates this company. It was a whole lot of people with good integrity and honesty to be able to stay in business this long.
Then Katrina hit. And when Katrina hit, I told him, said, look, son, you might as well start over. The business that he inherited had gone down to zero. There was no money in the coffers. There wasn't any equipment to work with. The only thing that he had was a reputation. It was an opportunity for Greg to do it the way he wanted to do it. Not worry about what his dad thinks about this. I wonder if my dad thinks this is okay. I had the confidence that he was just going to build it back, and he did.
We continue to be successful because we maintain our core values, the values that my father and grandfather and generations before them have instilled in us, to do it honestly, to be responsible to our customers, provide good services, and something that we can be proud of. This spot was my great-great-grandfather's spot. They bought this in 1902. When I was very young, probably 4 or 5 years old, my daddy used to take me with him to work, and I'd, bounce around in a pickup truck with him and go look at jobs.
I can remember as a little kid going into the yard and riding around on the forklifts and the bulldozers and stuff like that, and all the big diesel trucks, and it was always fun to just be at the yard and watch everybody working.
One of my first memories was going out to that warehouse and pouring the foundation for this warehouse. We woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it's still one of these memories that stay with me throughout my whole life.
So it was a huge warehouse, and they were pouring hundreds of yards of concrete, and it was, as a little kid, it was a sight to see. It was incredible. And so I really enjoyed that and growing up around the business.
By the time it's the sixth generation, it's genetic. It's been passed down. There's been so many Abrys involved with it for so many years, it just becomes part of you.
The foundation of our business is the values on which we stand, and so we try to bring those values into building foundations for houses and serving people in the community.
Doing business in New Orleans is, I'm sure, different than anywhere else.
Looking at the buildings, you can see the history. It's not just a history of the past, but it's here and now. You can see it in the architecture.
A lot of the old timers still talk about when they used to see the, hitching up the mules when they moved the Stern house. Not only did the Abrys move that house from Longview Garden onto Metairie Road, but they also moved the big trees.
Our business and our family has been a very integral part of keeping these buildings and this history alive. We were standing in front of Bell School. It was abandoned after Katrina. It was on the verge of collapse when we got here, and repairs were made over a 3-year span. If not for the work that Abry Brothers put into this building, it would not be here today. If we didn't restore these things, history would be lost.
It's important to me that we provide a strong building base for the next generation of Abry Brothers.
It makes me proud to know that most people considered Abry Brothers as doing a good job. My son was here and worked with me for probably almost 20 years when he took over. His sons of preparing to go for the 7th generation.
Every day that I'm out on the job, I love what I'm doing.
It's not just maintaining the architecture, but the culture.
My empire